investigators! As you have probably deduced from the title, smart folks that you are, today we will be telling you about printing errors in the Dunwich Legacy campaign. We will let you know what they are, if it affects you, and most importantly, how to fix them for free. The early print runs of the game had a couple of production mistakes, as the designers and art department were still getting to grips with the templates for the different cards. The first to be spotted was the fact that the investigator's signature cards should have used the story asset template to blank out their pips. This was mentioned in the FAQ and later corrected in subsequent printings. The ones we are concerned about are some of the location cards in the Dunwich Legacy. The best example is from the Essex County Express, where a location doesn't have conventional connections, but instead uses card or rule text to tell you how it is connected. It does not need location symbols. Initially, the symbol frame was left jarringly blank. In later print runs, this was removed for a much more pleasing effect. This decision didn't affect anyone. It didn't cause any confusion, unlike the signature cards. You either had symbols or you didn't. And unless you run a YouTube channel or like arguing on the internet forums, you probably hadn't noticed. Until that is, FFG came up with the grand idea of the Return To box, the greatest feat of recycling since glass bottles came with a 10p deposit. For anyone unaware, this product comes with extra cards for each of the scenarios that you can swap in to increase the variety and replayability. Naturally, these use the most recent card template, and if you have a second printing, then there is no problem. One of the cool things about the Return To products is that they have the original set symbol on the front and the new one on the rear, so you can't tell which is which before you turn them over. Unless, of course, you have the first printing and it is blindingly obvious. It isn't just this pack, but it's not the whole cycle either. The main box is fine, and only 4 out of the Mythos packs have affected cards, so let's check them out. In the Miskatonic Museum, all the exhibit halls are old style. In the Essex County Express, all the engine cars and train cars need replacing. In Blood on the Altar, only 1 card is affected, and for spoiler reasons, we won't say any more. In Where Doom Awaits, one of the less popular scenarios around these parts, your altered path and diverging path may use the old template. But everything else should be okay, and fingers crossed the other Arkham products will be unaffected. So now you know what to check. Pause this video and come back once you have scrutinized your cards. Even if you are a new player, this issue may affect you if you've bought a collection second-hand or if some old stock turned up on eBay or on the back shelf of a gaming store. So, if you have some cards that you want to update, then here is what you do. Summon up the internet and conjure the FFG main page. Scroll down to the bottom and click on the link for customer service. Locate the component defect heading and click there. Then use the revealed link to damaged/missing components request service. This opens up a new tab or window in your browser with this pop-up. Click on New Request and you get this form to fill in. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you're signed into your Asmodee account, your FFG community account or whatever. We had to fill this in manually. Pop your details in here and at the bottom you will see a box labelled Search for a Game by Title. Start typing in Arkham Horror and you'll get lots of suggested titles. You could locate all the Mythos packs individually, but we just went for Arkham Horror the card game. A drop down appears and we selected cards, because it's just the cards that need updating. It then asks you for a description of the problem, and this is what we wrote. Feel free to use that if you like. Note that we just asked for a replacement pack, more about this later. Then it comes on to photos. At the top of the page, it says this is optional. In the form, it says please include a photo. A photo may be required to process your request. And in the FAQ, it says yes, please. Luckily, we took lots of pictures. Once you push the submit button, at the bottom, you go to this confirmation screen with your reference number. So you can return at any time to check the progress. Don't worry, you will also get an email confirmation with clickable link to make things easier. And if you do click, it takes you to a similar looking confirmation screen. The first stage is received. Then Asmodee will send you a series of emails updating you on how things are going. Here is the accepted status where they approve your claim and let you know they intend to replace the cards. Finally, there is a shipping email letting you know your order has been dispatched. You may get a tracking number or clickable link from UPS or the US Postal Service, which you can also use in your country's own postal tracking website. There is a meaty FAQ if you have any questions about what sort of things you can get replaced, how long it takes and so on, so feel free to peruse that at your leisure. Eventually a package will arrive, and probably require a signature if it is a tracked service, so do take note, people with PO boxes. And here it is! We placed our request on the 13th of June and 18 days later it arrived on our doorstep. But every case is unique. To start off with, this is a massive box. Look, it's practically mug-sized. Let's open it up and take a look inside. All that packaging for such a tiny pack of cards. Presumably this is the most efficient way for FFG to process these, or maybe they simply ran out of envelopes this week. Your cards come in a lovely Ziploc bag, great for repurposing to hold tokens. There is an explanation card on the front and locations spoiler side out on the rear. Remember how we mentioned a replacement pack when we were filling out our form? Well, no matter how many of your cards need updating, you will get the whole lot. Your instruction card explains why this pack exists on the front and gives you a list of 26 cards you need to replace on the rear, which presumably you already know about, otherwise you wouldn't be ordering the pack. Let's have a closer look to see if we can see any differences. Here we have the original first editions and the replacements. Can you see a difference? Other than the massive blank circle, you ninny. And here they are with the return to cards, which is what you want them to blend in with. We suspect these are printed to order in the FFG basement, and there have been some noticeable differences with print-on-demand cards previously. But these look amazing, just like commercially printed ones. A couple of clues for us are the weird offsetting on the instruction card and the closer cutting at the base of each location. But as we said, these are the best POD cards we have ever seen, and once they are in sleeves you won't be able to tell the difference. Because they are produced to order, you may have an extended wait around holiday season or when big conventions like Gen Con are held. Check on the internet forums for this game to see how long things are currently taking in your part of the world. And that's it, folks. Huge shout out to our patrons who were able to come up with pictures of first and second edition signature cards at short notice. All our stuff is first edition as we are so OG.